Class 12 Science, and I am here today to deliver a speech. Hope for motivation and grace for guilt trips. So I want you to picture this. You listen to my speech, you go back to your classes, study, go home, play a bit, study a little, and then sleep. Such a fine day, isn't it? The next day, you wake up. Everything's fine, except that every single house in your entire district is gone. Doesn't really seem like a nice thing. You don't want that to happen. Not just to you, but to anyone, right? Right? Because we literally did that to millions of organisms in the Amazon. What's bad is that we're unapologetic about it. What's worse is that we're still doing it. Why? Do flora and fauna not deserve their home? Apparently not. And all this is happening because humans think that they're the most superior species on the planet. They even have a term for it. Anthropocentrism. What's that? It's the belief that humans are the central entity in the entire universe. They own everything. They get to decide who kills, who lives, and who doesn't. Well, not anymore. Nature has entered the chat. Welcome on everybody. A round of applause for nature. Oh, nice. Thank you. It's only the new, but I don't actually blame you for it. But enough of this. You want to hear something good? You do? I'm going to give you this. Within a few decades, there will be astronauts on our Earth. Yay, that sounds fun. No, it is not like that. Trust me, it's not. It will actually be us exploring our own planet. Because our environment will be too toxic for us to live in. Air too polluted to breathe. Water too toxic to drink. Too little sunlight coming down for our plants to grow, for food to exist, for warmth to exist. Wait, does that mean that a nuclear winter is coming? Oh yes, it does mean that. Think yourself, does the concept of a nuclear winter really sound that far-fetched to you? Oh, it does? Здравствуйте, народ. Как вы себя чувствуете последнее время? What was that? That was Vladimir Putin saying hello. Say hello to Mr. Putin. Please don't come after me, Mr. Putin. Okay, it does not end there. The military is what I call the sneaky polluters. You see, they pollute a lot. They know they do, but they don't like people knowing it. Why? Because it's their dirty little secret. But not anymore. Stats show that the US military is a bigger polluter than 100 nations combined. If it were to be a nation state, it would be the 47th largest polluter in the entire world. The Cost of Wars project found out that the US military alone accounted for 1.2 billion metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions over the years. That is a lot. Ask the commander-in-chief what's going on and see if you get anything other than a, come on man, please don't come after me, Mr. Biden. Okay, so we get your point. Military, not good for environment. But Tushar, what you said about a nuclear winter, dude, that's just based on an assumption that there is going to be a third world war. But we don't know that for sure, now do we? Yes, you're right. But that's not the only thing we need to worry about. There's more. Violent weather movement. What's that? When it happens, things like these happen. Oh my God, not a drop of water to drink. I think I'm going to die from thirst. Next day, dead. Cause of death, drowning. You see, it just doesn't end there. Dust storms, cyclones, hurricanes, a lot of hurricanes. Wait, did I just say hurricanes? And like a lot of them? Oh my God, must be bad for Mumbai and Chennai. Too bad, they're already gone. The seas got close with them, a little too close. There's more to these things than we can imagine. You might think that this is terrifying, but it's not. It just doesn't end there. It keeps on coming bigger and bigger. Let me tell you the biggest threat humanity is currently facing. Because of which, very soon, food rights will be a common sight. You and I might be of a different religion, caste, creed, color, race, gender. We might belong from a different region, nation. We might speak different languages. We might have a different ideology. We might worship different gods. But at the end of the day, we have something in common. We all come from the soil. The soil is what we are, and soil gives us the food, because of which we are still alive. And yet again, because of human greed, an important thing is going to die. Our soil is losing its organic content. Our organic content is what makes the soil soil. Without organic content, the soil can't grow food. But we don't get it. Low organic content soil. That's where we are. What does it mean? It means that the soil takes much more water for irrigation than a rich soil would do. And no organic content soil. That's where we're headed. That means when we ask soil, please give us food, it's going to say, no, I'm not. You see, that's not good. Because without food, we don't live. You don't want that, right? You don't want that. Everything that keeps us alive is time. So in a way, we can say that our earth is dying. Or is she? She's not. She's been killed. By whom? By us. And we're not really sad about it. Because if we were, we wouldn't be still killing her. Note that when I say earth, I don't mean the planet earth. It was there long before us. It's going to be hereafter. What I actually mean is Mother Earth. The world we live in, not the planet. I don't get why stopping ourselves from killing our own mother should be this hard. Some people don't think all this is gonna happen. And yes, why should you believe me, right? Okay, story time for this. Try spotting a trend or a pattern in what I'm going to say next. So once upon a time, a few decades to be exact, the wise science guy said, our planet will never be the same if we continue to do what we're doing. So people, artists and activists drew arts of people wearing masks in the then future. At that time, it seemed ridiculous. Those stupid activists, what do they know? Don't listen to them, they know nothing. And here we are. Look, everyone's wearing masks. What? COVID? No, don't give COVID all the credit for bringing masks into our lives. You remember 2019 and like every year before that one, when all the smoke came and we started getting it with masks? You do? Because I do. I definitely do. And you remember smog? You know that parali thing which causes smoke? Smog? Yes, we're delegates. We're very special. We haven't just heard it. We've felt it. We've experienced it inside our lungs. And if that's not a strong enough point for you to remember it, then I don't know what is. Well, anyways, nowadays, what kind of cartoons do we come across? What kind of memes do we stumble upon? People carrying oxygen cylinders on their backs to breathe. Now I don't know what's more unfortunate. The fact that this is probably going to be true, given that the current government still don't wake up, or that this, which in fact is terrible, doesn't even sound that ridiculous to me. You see, we're practically doing nothing to stop this, and this is going to be terrible if we continue to do what we're doing. Leaders meet yearly at the United Nations Climate Change Conference. You remember the COP26, which happened back in November? What came after that? Tell me, what was the outcome? Nothing, absolutely nothing. This is how it's been going for years now. Leaders meet, pointless meetings which have no practical outcomes. For how long this is going to continue, I do not know. The developed nations shift all the blame on the developing ones. The developed ones who contributed the most overall over the years to climate change, they shift the blame to developing ones. They, in turn, who are currently the largest emitters, shift the blame to the developed ones. This has become a cycle. It just keeps on revolving and revolving and revolving, except that this cycle never moves and doesn't benefit anyone. Forget about world leaders for a second. Let's come to people. I've seen people don't actually know or realize how much losses it's already causing us, let alone how many losses it could cause us. They need a number. You need a value, I'll give you. So how much money did Bharat lose to climate-related disasters last year alone? $87 billion. That's huge. That's like a military budget, on top of it, education budget, once again an education budget. That's how much money we lost, a single country in a single year, to climate-related disasters. That's how many losses we're already facing. And this is like the motion poster to the prequel. This hasn't even begun yet. So, did this speech bring a change in your heart? If it did, please implement the 5 R's. Refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, recycle. You heard about the Safe Soil movement. All you have to do is spread awareness. Talk about it. Let the hype go up and up. Because what's hype? It's what pumps the parties, the political parties, to bring things in the election manifestos. And that's all we want right now. I said something about Kumbh governments. Well, there's something where we can be proud because the Indian government doesn't come in that shrini, and we're actually one of the best performing nations in the entire world when it comes to climate change. See, there's a simple choice. What do we want? Our mother's lap or our mother's slap? You decide. Thank you. Say word, say soil.